Hi quilting friends, my name's Carolina Moore and I'm the inventor of the Spot On Dot. I'm also the creative mind behind the Ruler of the Month Club. Every month I create a new pattern using a new quilting ruler and I share that online for free, but only for the month. When the next month's Ruler of the Month pattern comes out, the previous month's pattern goes into my pattern shop where you can purchase it and the new month's pattern is free. Also every month, to go along with the Ruler of the Month pattern, I have a video which shows you exactly how to use that ruler, and this is that video. Ready? I'm going to show you how to use the Kites Plus ruler from Creative Grids, and of course we're going to be using our Spot On Dot with the Kites Plus ruler. Are you ready? Let's get started. This month's Ruler of the Month is the Kites Plus ruler by Creative Grids, and it is super simple to use to make awesome kite-shaped blocks, or as I like to call them, actually diamond-shaped blocks, because they look a little bit like a diamond to me. There's other different shapes that you can make with it as well, and you can use the QR code that's on the ruler to go to the Creative Grids website and see some other designs that you can make with it. I'm going to show you the basic diamond or kite in a rectangle. I have my 6.5 inch piece of fabric that I've cut, and the great thing about this ruler is that this is actually a 90-degree angle. So when I want to square off the end of my fabric, I can just line up and square off the end, and then I know that that's straight. Now for the kites that I'm making the 6.5 inch kite, so that's right here, and I will start actually by making a cut. And I want to line up this bottom line right here and this top point. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Spot On Dot down here to go ahead and see that bottom line and make sure that's all lined up. And then with 2 cuts, I have cut off my sides. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And now I'm going to line up this side and this side, and I can move my Spot On Dot over here to be able to see that point. And with 2 cuts, I've gone ahead and cut out 2 diamonds. Now to cut the next diamond, I'm actually going to flip this over like this. Line up the bottom, and I have a little bit of overcut here, so I want to make sure that that doesn't end up in my seam allowance and definitely not in my block. Now if I cut all the way across here, that'll keep me from having any overcut. Line this up again. Cutting all the way across here will keep me from having any overcut, and then cutting that out. Again, just flip it over. There we go. And now I can cut again. And it's that easy to cut out my diamonds. Now to turn these diamonds into rectangles, I need my top corners and my bottom corners, and that's all right here on the ruler as well. So I'm going to start with my bottom corners, which are the side triangles, and it's labeled here on the ruler as ST. So you can see the STs on there. And the instructions that come with the Creative Grids ruler tell you exactly what size to cut your strips. If you're ever stuck with this ruler and you don't have the instructions and you want to know, okay, what size do I cut my strips? You just find that 6.5 inch side triangle, because that's what size we're cutting, and you measure it right on your mat or with another ruler, and you can see exactly what size you need to cut those. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting right here on my strip, and I've lined up my top and side edges. If I want, I can use my Spot On Dot to double check all that placement and see that better. So I'm going to cut, and then remember I showed you at the beginning that this has a right angle right here. So to cut my other set, I just line this up and cut. And I'll repeat. Because I've got a double fold of fabric, each is making a right side triangle and a left side triangle. Because I'm using a solid fabric, the right and the left, actually it doesn't matter. I'm just making two triangles. One will be a right side and one will be a left side. But if you are using a fabric that has a print, you want to make sure that you're not using a single layer of fabric, because you'll be cutting all your triangles the same direction. So you'll have only rights or lefts. So I've cut enough for 4, and I have 6 diamonds, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut 2 more, and that way I'll have enough side triangles for all of the kite shapes that I have already cut. There we go. Now I need to cut the top triangles, and that's done in a really similar way. I have my strip of fabric that I've already squared off the end, and I'm going to go ahead and find a top triangle on here. I need that 6.5 inch top triangle. If I line this up with my mat, it'll make it really easy to cut everything up. So that's 6.5 inch top triangle, and cut here, flip it, use my 90-degree angle, here. That's enough for 2. My spot on dot helps me get realigned real quick. I know exactly what needs to be lined up on here. And these Creative Grids rulers are fabulous. They do so many things, but they've got a lot of lines going on. So by having that spot on dot, it helps me find exactly where I need to be lined up again real quick. One more set. And I have all of the top triangles that I need to be able to make my kite block. There we go. So to piece everything together, you just grab one of your kite shapes and you lay out your pieces. If you lay it out ahead of time, then you'll be able to flip this over and know exactly how this needs to be stitched down. You don't want to accidentally stitch it on like this, because then you'll end up with a piece like this that is not the rectangle that we're looking for. So, like this. Like this. And there we go. That's how we make our kite shape. Isn't this ruler so much fun? I can think of so many awesome designs to make with it. But if you want to make the design that I made for this month's Ruler of the Month, go ahead and check out the link below. Remember, it's only free for this month and if you sign up for my newsletter. So head on over and get that download before it goes into my shop for good. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, I'll leave those down below. I do look for those. And make sure you're subscribed to this channel so that you get all of my crafting and quilting updates. If you hit that bell, you'll be the first to be notified every time I've got a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.